speaker series at the BFG 2020 show. Today we'll be joined by Chris Beytes, and today he will be talking about new varieties of plants for 2021. Before we join Chris, let's go over how to navigate our show platform. You can hover over our map, you can search by vendor, category, or booth number, and watch as the interactive map helps guide you to your desired location. Once you're in a booth, you can order now, view top show deals, go to the vendor's website, look at their catalog, you can pull up your order history, view vendor descriptions, featured items, or contact the vendor. Benefits of attending our show. If you place pre-show orders, you will receive an additional 2% on most orders. And May 2021 terms, pallet alley deals, daily lunch specials, pallet auctions, and more. Let's join Chris Beytes, and here we go.
All right. Thank you, Joe. Hey, long time no see.
Yeah, and I know you're still waiting for your lunch special.
I was going to ask, what is today's lunch special? It was roast beef and cheese yesterday, which was pretty good. What are we working on today?
Yeah, it's just going to be an Italian cold cut sub today.
One of my
cold
favorites.
Lunch today. Sorry about that.
No, actually, I think that means there's some really good deals over the lunch hour. Am I right?
Yes, we have.
I found that. I was, much to my chagrin, that's what I found out. I was really hoping for a sandwich, but let me go ahead and share my screen. We don't want to waste any time because people have to. They've got work to do and lunch to have. But my talk today is about new varieties for the tail end of this year, what's left of it, and 2021 and beyond. And let me tell you, under a normal year, this would be an easy talk to give because I spend a lot of the spring and summer looking at new varieties in greenhouses and out at field trials and at trade shows. And we've had almost none of those these years. It was about 2 weeks before maybe 1 week before the whole lockdown began that we got word that the California spring trials were being canceled. And that is our number one place where we go for the newest of the new varieties. And it's very important to us editorially as well. Plus we get some sponsorship and advertising off of it. So what we had to do is scramble like crazy, me and my fellow editors, to gather the information from California while those trials were still set up, because they were set up. They canceled a week before we were going to fly out there to see everything. So everything was set up. People were out there. So we asked them, can you take photos? Can you take videos? Can you get us notes? Can you join us on Zoom for a half hour or 45 minutes, just like if we were standing in your greenhouse in California? And can you tell us about your new varieties? And pretty much every participating company did, which has allowed us at Ball Publishing, Grower Talks, to put together a coverage of the spring trials that never happened. So no, I have not been able to get out and see things at trade shows or in summer field trials. So everything you're going to see here in the next few minutes is from what would have been the California spring trials. I always put a caveat out there that I haven't grown these things. All I can do is describe them to you based on what I was told and by the photos, kind of my own 40 years of experience in the industry as to how it might fit. So we're going to cover 6 different categories of plants. So there's going to be something for everybody. The first thing we always look at is memorable introductions. These are the things that by the end of the 6-day trip, when we're cross-eyed and angry with each other, we can still remember them. Something you saw on day 1 that was so interesting, so noteworthy, or I should say so memorable, that after seeing thousands of new things, you still remember those. And maybe even better if you can remember it, say, 2 weeks later or a month later. So we're going to show some of those. New series are always great because, when a breeding company rolls out not just one variety, but 6 or 8 or 10, that's a big deal. So we'll talk about new series. Then there's always those additions to series and notable one-offs that we like to talk about. There was a few of those. I've got some perennials in here for you perennial folks, herbs and veggies, because I think those were kind of hot this year. Unfortunately, there was very, very, very few introduced from the companies that we tend to visit, but I've got a few in there. And then specifically for you independent garden center folks, we got some things that we think are especially suited to you, meaning they're not especially suited to the competition that grows for the big boxes for various reasons. Everything I'm going to show you is suited for every independent garden center. But these are a little bit extra special. So let's dive right in, shall we? And the first one I'm going to tell you about is Impatiens Beacon Rose from Pan American Seed. Beacon is the series that Pan American introduced last year that is IDM, Impatiens Downy Mildew resistant. It has high resistance to IDM, and Rose is an addition to the series. So this is an important one. If you're still selling the old series out there, the old Super Elephants, the old Accents, be really careful because there has been Impatiens Downy Mildew out in the world this year. It's, we've got other viruses to worry about, but IDM has been a problem. So consider this and the other IDM resistant variety out there. Also, for you growers, this now has coated seed, making it easier to sow. Anytime there's an addition to an important series like Wave, hey, I'm going to talk about it because it's an easy add-on. If you're already growing waves, selling waves, and kind of who isn't, here's another one for you. This is Easy Wave Rose Fusion. Now, Easy Waves are the slightly more compact, a little bit easier for growers and retailers. They're still a little smaller, a little less spreading, entangling on the bench. Rose Fusion is the first bicolor in the Easy Wave sub-series. And it's great for really any size, from handle packs, quarts, gallons, and baskets. Another wave from Pan American Seed. This one's very cool. This is Shock Wave Purple Tie-Dye. It's a spreading type, more spreading than the Easy Wave. Beautiful white and purple blue flowers with a lot of different variations in the patterning there. The patterning is influenced by temperature, light, and PGRs. So you never know what you're going to get. And I'm sure Pan Am will be bringing out plenty of cultural information on how to get the most interesting patterns going there. I mentioned Impatiens Downy Mildew. Imara is the IDM resistant Impatiens from Syngenta, and what they've done is added mixes. They've taken their existing colors, which is pretty broad for a new series, and they've put them together in designer mixes, as the trade likes to call it: Pastel, Pro Formula, Rosy, Tango, and this one's called Hot. So as I said, take a look at those IDM resistant Impatiens. Beacon and Amara XDR are the two series out there right now. Another great intro from Syngenta. If you grow Vinca, especially you southern growers, but really I think anywhere, you should be growing Vinca Cora because it is the most disease resistant Vinca on the market. I'm looking for it. It's a cascade type, and you can see that it's got a cascading habit as opposed to the upright. The regular Cora XDR gets an apricot, and Cora Cascade gets this bright rose. So there's the Coras. Another petunia. This is from Suntory, and this is Surfinia. Great series. This is one called Purple Heart. And if you look closely, let's see, I don't know if you can see my mouse going in there or not, but you can see the little hearts, the 4 little hearts, or is it 5 little hearts? 4 or 5 little hearts going around the edges of the flowers there. Excellent in baskets and containers. Considered for maybe a cause marketing campaign. And this one's called Purple Heart. So you can think of a cause that could be benefited from a Purple Heart campaign. So that's kind of nice. Speaking of purple, this one's very interesting. This is an improvement. This is Petunia, Super Tunia, Royal Velvet Improved from Proven Winners. I almost never write about improvements in Grower Talks or Green Profit. We like to write about new things. And if it's an improved, that means the thing you used to be telling me was so good wasn't actually so good after all because you've had to improve it. Yeah, maybe I'm overstating it a bit. But in this case, the reason I'm talking about this one is because Royal Velvet is Proven Winners' #1 seller. Out of all the scores, hundreds of varieties they have, this is their #1. And so when they improve it, you know they're going to do it well, and it's going to be important. The improvement is a tighter, less stringy habit, better branching and more flowers, and earliness. But they say it'll bring all those new attributes and keep this great purple color. So look for that one from Proven Winners. This is a new interspecific geranium series. We've seen a lot of these in the last, 10 years or so, 8 or 10 years. Calliope, I think, was the first one to come out from Syngenta. This is where you cross a zonal geranium with an ivy geranium, and you get hopefully the best of both traits. Some have more of one and some have more of another. This one, Caldera, leans towards the ivy blood, as the plantsmen like to say. You can see it in the flower shape and in the leaf habit, but you see some zoning in there as well. What else can we say about it? Same flower intensity and heat tolerance of their Calientes, which is an older interspecific geranium, but with a large, vigorous spreading habit, making it a great choice for in-ground plantings, baskets, and combos. Starts with 3 colors: salmon, red, and pink. Oh, and by the way, I should mention there's a Q&A area as we go along. Don't ask any questions because I'm telling you everything I know. No, I'm kidding. You can feel free to ask questions, but chances are if I don't give it in the description, I probably don't know the specifics about zone or PGRs or weeks to bloom or any of those kinds of things. Pay attention to the breeder name I'm giving you here and look for it in their literature. Chances are they have really good information online about these varieties, especially this year. So a little caveat there. Sun Patient, another easy seller. My gosh, I was at Disney last year, was it, or 2 years ago at Epcot for an event, and I bet you 30% of their bedding plants in their landscape were Sun Patients everywhere because they do so well and they don't get impatiens downy mildew. So they're now in their 15th year. Super popular plant. So when they introduce a new variety like Compact Hot Pink, I'm gonna talk about it. There's another one, Compact Rose Glow, which I'm starting to get a little cross-eyed just from looking at that right now. I should have put up one of those warning things that it might hurt your eyes. So, and Hot Pink is going to replace Neon Pink because it's got better heat tolerance and drought tolerance. So there's a couple of new Sun Patients. Now we're in the new series category, and African marigolds. Marigolds are kind of making a comeback. We saw a lot of marigolds this year, and gosh, they looked great out in the ball gardens this year. Had a good summer for marigolds. This is Marvel 2 from Pan American Seed. Now, Marvel 2 indicates there was a Marvel 1, or in this case, just Marvel. You probably remember it. Very good variety, but this is a complete upgrade to the series. All new. It's a week faster to flower under long days, 20% bigger than their Tashion series. So they've got several African marigold series at Pan American. This one's more vigorous, 16 to 18 inches tall, nice big 3-inch blooms on it. And you get gold, orange, yellow, and a mixture. And I think you're seeing pretty much all of those right there. So that's African Marigold Marvel 2 from Pan American Seed. This is a real pretty one here. I think I'm going to show you quite a few begonias coming up here. In fact, this entire page down at the bottom that of my notes is begonias. This is Double Delight from Proven Winners. We've got Double Delight and Double Up. Double Delight is a tuberous begonia, great for hanging baskets, as you can see. from the habit here. But it still looks good, they say, in one of their grande containers on a bench in a tray. So that's important. So it'll look good at retail. Um, nice double flowers. This is where I would have liked to have seen it in person. They told me it has a nice citrusy scent. Can't verify it because Zoom does not yet offer smell-o-vision. Sun to part sun conditions, and they say it's got improved xanthomonas resistance. And you know, Proven Winners is pretty picky about when they put things in their line. So if they're putting a double begonia in it, they must have tested it pretty hard. Two colors, blush rose and primrose, which is what you're looking at. And then another new series. This is a regular semperflorens, you know, a wax begonia, but it's vegetative. Remember, everything Proven Winners does is from cutting, no seed varieties. And this one's called Double Up for its fully double flowers. And what a really attractive habit. I mean, it's just like a little covered with, like, it's like a gumball or something. It is so tight there. Beautiful medium-sized plants. You get 3 different colors: red, white, or pink, which is pictured. Pink is the green leaf one, and red and white have kind of chocolatey bronze foliage. That's Double Up. Another new one, that's spectacular. I hope that looks just like that on the bench, because that's pretty amazing. That's Begonia Florencio from Syngenta. This is an interspecific type of hybrid, bred in Holland. They never, you know, I always ask, okay, it's an interspecific. That means 2 different species that you bred together. What are they? Well, they never tell me. So I can't tell you. I'm sure looking at the foliage and the flower, you could probably guess. I can't, because I'm not that good. But it's a beautiful plant. Big flowers. The flowers kind of look like your regular wax or semperflorens type of flower, and the foliage is a little bit more of a tuberous type. So these are there's 5 different colors. All of them have that dark foliage, and good for medium to large size containers. Wish I could, you know, specify, but I would say that would be, say, you know, 6 or 8 inch, something like that. Don't know if you'd put it in a jumbo or not. Might be a little too expensive for that, because it's a vegetative. More begonias, also from Syngenta. Begonia Grace. This is a begonia boliviensis, and boliviensis is the species I was looking for when we were looking at this one, because note the leaf shape. I was thinking that's maybe a tuberous, or excuse me, a sempervirens crossed, or excuse me, semperflorens crossed with a boliviensis. I'm probably completely wrong, but you know, let us guess anyway. But this is a great one for basket programs. Double flowers, very pretty there. Nice branching, and 3 different colors: dark red, orange, and pink, with kind of a medium green foliage you can see there. So that's Begonia Grace. Another begonia. Told you we got a lot of begonias. It's the year of the begonia here. This is Begonia Groovy. That's a nice photo too. Isn't that a pretty vignette? I like that. Begonia Groovy from Bonari, and Bonari really knows begonias. They're excellent breeders. This is another boliviensis type. They call it compact. That's a pretty big plant, but I think that's in a really big pot and is fairly mature. But it's the Groovy series is a kind of overall fairly compact, a little bit more compact, which they say is good for shipping. Now that would mean, hey, maybe the big guys want it, but it still has really large flowers. 5 different colors: mellow yellow, orange, red. This is rose, and white. And then I swear there's only 3 more begonias on this page, but in this one, I never like pronouncing. I stumble across this Begonia Iconia Baccio. I think I've got that right. This is a compact member of their Iconio begonia series. I think it's a sub-series, because Baccio means little kiss in Italian, or so they tell me. So part of the Iconia series. They also have Iconia Portofinos, which are bigger. So you've got Portofinos, which are for 6 to 8 inch pots, the regular Iconios, which are say 6-inch pots, and then the Baccios, the little kiss ones, which are for 4 or 5-inch pots. 4 different colors in these: peach, salmon, white, and orange. And I tell you, that is just a really pretty plant. If you had a bench of these and one of your customers came in and picked it up, there is no way they're going to put it down. They're going to have to buy it. So get them to pick it up and admire that. So beautiful little plant there. Begonia Prism is a series. Remember, we're talking all new series here. So Prism is a series, 14 different colors in this one. And these compete against nonstops. Everybody's heard against nonstop, tuberous type from Bonari, been around for generations now. Your folks grew and sold nonstops, I think. But the Prisms compete against that, but they're saying 10 to 15% more vigorous than nonstops. So, and a little bit earlier to finish. But they're nice habit, big plants, lots of good colors there, big flowers too. So that's the Prism series from Westhoff, which is a German breeding company. And I think the last begonia for now anyway, also from Bonari, Super Cools. And this is important if you're either a grower or you're maybe in a northern climate who wants to be selling begonias a tad sooner, because Super Cools, as their name implies, can be grown under cooler temperatures, making a nice beefy plant to put out in the garden. They're about a week earlier than other series, and offers a bicolor, a pink, a red, a white, and a mix. And you're looking at the mix there. So maybe a little bit earlier or a cooler climate begonia for you there. Another new series. I got to say, Dooman really sent us some nice photography since we couldn't be out there to photograph the varieties. I appreciate that. Durabloom. Now, Durabloom is, as far as I know, the first interspecific petunia. It's the first interspecific petunia for Dooman anyway. And again, don't ask them, well, what'd you cross with what to get these things? They won't tell you. But it's basically bred to have strong roots to endure heat and drought. So it's a beefy and tough plant. But also they want it to have really nice flower power and some great colors. They say it blooms young or early. I probably should have written in 306 packs, so you can sell it on a bench in, say, handle packs. And they are comparing it to Proven Winners Vista series. So if you know, like Vista Bubblegum and some of those other real popular ones, they're saying you'll like this one. That's what they're going to compete against. 7 colors, including Electric Lilac and Royal Pink, which was introduced last year as a one-off. All right, let's see what's next. Another new petunia. Remember, these are new series. So Scoop is a new petunia series from the Israeli breeding company Danziger. And if they tell me that's called Scoop, I know I immediately picture the scoop of ice cream that it's shaped like. Good name for a variety. They are early, smaller flowered petunias meant for packs and for quarts. Think of it as a scoop of petunia atop a small pot, they say. Don't need much PGR. You can grow them really close together on the bench, so good for high density production. Make some money on these things. 8 nice colors with tasty names, as I cleverly wrote, like French vanilla, lemon ice, and this one is called cherry gelato. And hopefully BFG has some gelato on the lunch special. Wouldn't that be nice? Since we've just or order up some scoops, I guess. Another new series, another petunia, actually a pair of petunias we're going to look at now from Syngenta. Photo Finish and Fast Forward. These are from seed. These are seed petunias. Photo Finish, kind of as the name implies, is fast. It's a fast finishing, spreading series, so it's going to compete kind of with the waves. It finishes in just 9 to 10 weeks from sowing because it has less day length sensitivity. So if that's important to you, pay attention to that. Another one that's good for high density growing, keep it tight on the bench. And it also, they say it holds well at retail. So that, the danger with some of these spreading types of petunias is You know, when they come in, you put them on the bench, and you know, 2 weeks later, they're so tangled that if a customer takes one, they take about 10 and break 9 of them. They say this is less of a risk with this. 9 colors and 2 mixes. And it's going to replace 2 of their older series. So I hope you're not a big fan of Plush or Ramblin', because Photo Finish is replacing those. Now, the other one that they've got is called Flash Forward, and another seed type. This is a spreading multiflora, meaning smaller flowers, but lots and lots of them. And this one is going to replace their Picobella Cascade series. They're early, nice and tidy, great for putting into combos because they'll play well with others. They won't overtake a combo pot, they say. And because they're multiflores with the slightly smaller flowers, they'll hold up better to like those summer, you know, heavy rainstorms that'll beat down a grandiflora, leave it looking like a used Kleenex. These will stay pretty. 11 colors and 3 mixes in this one. That's pretty. Snapdragons from Taki, and this is a statement series F1, meaning it's you know, it's a hybrid, so it's going to be very high quality, lots of branching, lots of flowers. Dwarf, so it's going to stay compact. In this case, really compact, 8 to 10 inches tall in the garden. Bred for lots and lots of side branches, and you kind of see that here. You know, oftentimes with the Snapdragon, you get that apical stem with a big flower, and then the side branches sort of come out, but the apical stem flower sort of dominates. Here, you see that nice even habit with the flowers there. 5 colors in the series, with more on the way. And an Impatiens. That looks like a New Guinea to me, but it's not. It's an inner-specific, kind of like the Sun Patiens are, and there's a few other series out there from different breeders where they are crossing like New Guineas with something else, kind of have that New Guinea look, but they'll take the sun. And the Sol Luna series from Dan Ziger will take the sun or the shade, hence the name. You know, sun and moon, I guess, Sol Luna. In fact, Dan Ziger called these the future of New Guinea Impatiens because you can put them anywhere. Compact habit, good for packs, quarts, gallons. 4 colors for now, but I bet there'll be a lot more. Tropical Punch, pink, dark lavender, and this one's called Candy Apple. Again, with the food references. Boy, I always get hungry when I talk new varieties. Another one from Dan Ziger, another New Guinea. In fact, this is an old New Guinea series. The Harmony series have been around for a long time, but in this case, it's a trailing Harmony New Guinea called Color Fall. So all new series of cascading trailing New Guineas. Great for shade hanging baskets or shade pots, shade combos. So that could be good. It's something we might need. 12 colors, and you're looking at neon red. So if you know Harmonies, and they have been around for, gosh, you know, a couple of decades, I think now, you should give these a try. This is a little bit different, and I love tossing in things that maybe you haven't tried, and it would be rare for me to pop into garden centers and find a nice bench of Cosmos. But so this could be fun. This is the Casanova series from Hem Genetics, which is a Dutch company. This is a genetically compact Cosmos. In fact, most everything that Hem does is bred to be grown with pretty much no growth regulators or very little, because they're I don't know if they're outlawed in Europe or the Netherlands, but it's really close. So they try to go for natural compactness, but nice big flowers on these as well. And you get 4 different colors: pink, red, violet, and white in the Casanova Cosmos series. Gerbera, always a nice garden plant. You know the company Florist, which is merged with Hilverda, another Dutch breeder, both Dutch breeding companies. So now it's Hilverda Florist, but Florist only does Gerberas. Hilverda does all the other odd things. So they've got loads and loads of series. This is the Garvinia Cheeky series. Cheeky is sort of a sub-series within the Gardenias. These are garden Gerberas, but these have mini flowers that just keep blooming continuously from spring to frost. So you can put them in the ground, put them in containers like this, and loads and loads of small flowers that should just keep on going all summer long. 4 different colors, magenta, orange, yellow, and you're looking at red. Blue, lovely flower color. Not too many varieties that have blue, but lobelia is one of them, and Danziger's got a nice one here. This is a new series of lobelia called Glow, which are compact and mounded. And I don't like the white background and the white pot. That's the problem with depending upon the breeder to get you photos instead of taking them yourself in the trial or in the greenhouse where we can really show the habit. You know, here we don't really get a feel, but they say compact and mounded, well suited for quart-sized pots, very heat tolerant and very floriferous. You can either get electric blue or white lightning. And I'll give you one guess which one this one is. Exactly, you got it. Odd to see, you know, there's so many sweet potatoes out there, Ipamea. So when you see a whole new series, you figure, okay, it better be good. And this one's from Green Fuse. They call it Sweet Georgia, and they are introducing it for its uniformity. Every color, and there are, let's see, it doesn't say in my notes, but they say they've got all the key colors. So think of the, you know, Marguerite and Blackie and some variegated ones and some of the others, you know, the brown ones, the red ones. They've got all the colors, but every one of them is uniform to the next one. They call it a true series, where whichever ones you grow or put in your combos, they're all going to have the same habit. So that could be important to you instead of, you know, having one that gets really big and crazy and the others stay more compact. Another one from Green Fuse, Vinca. Quasar. This is a vegetative series. Most Vinca out there, not all, but most of them come from seed. Quasar is a vegetative series that, you know, that makes it more of a premium product. It's going to be a little bit more expensive coming from cutting, so you're going to want to do it in a say a you know, a premium pack, a premium quart pot, or something larger. Great summertime performance. Didn't say because they're vegetative that they've got any more durability or beefiness or flower size than others on the market, say F1 types. Because we haven't seen it in person, we can't really say. But there are 5 colors, and they look pretty good from photography: deep space blue, plum swirl, orange target, red target, and salmon target. And I bet the target name is for that that bullseye right in the center of some of those flowers. There you go. All right, so that is it for new series. Now, kind of one-offs and notables, additions to series. And we always look for some fun things here, such as anemone. Another product that you know, it's kind of rare to see on a garden center bench. I'm gonna make a quick adjustment to my screen here. There we go. Anemone Harmony Double Pink. Beautiful flowers. That's just striking. Rich rose pink. They've got that kind of the dark eye and the white center, you know, so there's so much contrast going on there. And we were told, and I've never gardened with anemone, but we were told a double anemone holds up better in the garden than singles do, because they don't shed their flower petals as quickly. And so the Harmony series now has 4 colors. This looks like I will often point out things that to me are end cap items, where if you could do bowls of just this, you know, 25 or 50 of them on an end cap, and blow them out as a special on a weekend, you know, rather than just hiding them in the back somewhere, really bring them up to the forefront, let people pay attention to them. There you go. Get that going. There we go. Whoops. What did I just do? Went too far. There we go. This is a notable addition. It's both. It's notable and an addition because the Begonia Big series from Benari has really taken off. It's a big seed semperflorens begonia, and it gets a really important color, white. And I didn't realize until this was introduced that the Big series didn't have a white in it. or I should say white with green leaf. And white with green leaf is sort of the holy grail for semperflorens. You've got to have it. And now they do. And they also added a deep rose bronze leaf. But so that's, so if you're growing the big begonias, now you've got a big white to add to that. Did I say there was a lot of begonia? I think I did. And this is proof. Begonia vermilion hot pink from Beacon Camp, Dutch breeding company that I don't know how familiar you are with them, that we don't see as, they're fairly new to spring trials. They're making waves in the poinsettia world as well. You'll see Beacon Camp poinsettias out there now. This is a Himalis type of begonia. Loads and loads of little rose-like double flowers, and it joins vermilion red. This is hot pink. And you know what? That vignette is perfect for that flower. That's just perfect. It just exudes sort of a classic comfort in the garden kind of a look, a vintage appeal. I'm a wordsmith and I'm struggling for words to describe it, but you know what I mean? It just looks right there. So that's vermilion hot pink begonia. Doom and Orange introduced some nice coleus. Their Main Street series has loads and loads of different coleus, all named after different famous streets. This is Beale Street, and it is an All-America Selections winner, which is to me that's kind of a nice endorsement to let you know that, hey, it's been tested all around the country. All the experts said, hey, this thing really performed against the competitors out there, so it's worth trying. Very late to flower, so it keeps its nice foliage look, which is what you want here. Doesn't tend to bleach or fleck or spot under high heat conditions. There are now, how many Main Streets are there? 16 different coleus in the Main Street series. This one, boy, that is striking. This we almost just could have put up in the memorable introductions, except I'm sure we'd forget the name. We'd say, what was that vivid yellow dahlia, something hypnotized limes? No, what was it? Hypnotica limoncello from Dooman. And don't really need to say much about it. It's part of the Hypnotica series, but it's just extremely bright, kind of yellow and white flowers. In this addition to the series. Excuse me. Whew, another one you need some sunglasses for. This one's interesting because at first glance you'd say, oh, that's an interesting coleus, but no, this is a sweet potato. And it's called, it's part of the Sweet Caroline, I should pronounce it, series of sweet potatoes, or Ipomea from Proven Winners. But this is called Medusa Green, and you could use this in a as an accent or component plant in your combos. But this is interesting enough to try in its own container, as you see here. It has a really interesting foliage. I'm hoping that this is Medusa green, that maybe there'll be a Medusa red, a Medusa bronze, and some others, because it is very interesting. As a Floridian, even though I live in Chicago, Florida is kind of my home, and as a former Florida grower, I love Lantana because I just know how bulletproof it is. This is an addition to Proven Winners' Luscious series. This is called Royale Red Zone. Nice, really tidy, tight habit, they say, and it was kind of a grower friendly instead of getting all kind of rangy and scraggly like some lantanas are prone to do. Nice flowers that'll hold their color against that dark foliage, no matter the climate. So that's a good lantana there. And another New Guinea. This is the roller coaster, part of the roller coaster series from Dooman, and these are named roller coaster for the wavy edge on these semi-double flowers, and kind of a curly edge. In fact, they added, let me check here, 5 new colors, in fact, to the series. I'm only showing you one, but there are 5 new ones. The series was introduced last year with hot pink. And so there's a cotton candy, a racer red, a Raven violet, which is actually what you're looking at right now, tangy taffy, and white lightning. So you grow this one for that really interesting edge. And that's another one you want to, put on an end cap or put it right up close so the customers can appreciate the uniqueness of that flower. Here's one I have grown. I'm sort of fortunate enough to get sample packs of flowers every year, and some do great, some do terribly. In some cases, I forget where they came from and what they are, and I lost the tag, or it kind of went bad during the summer, so we threw it away. But I can tell you, our soirees, we've got 4 of them this year, have done spectacularly from June right up through now. Always look great, no problems whatsoever. These are from Suntory. These are technically Vinca, but they're marketing them as Cataranthus under the series name Soiree. They're tiny flowered Vinca. And this one's Kawaii Blueberry Kiss. There's also a coral reef. There's the coral reef. I've got a picture. I actually could have taken pictures on my own patio. Could have done it this morning, as a matter of fact. So there's a bunch of colors of these, slightly different flower types on all of them. But if you haven't tried the soirees, try any of them, whether they're these brand new ones or some of the old ones, because they really do seem to be pretty bulletproof. Might be great for some of those new flower gardeners that you have coming into your place. Here's another one that might kind of work that way. These are the Petunia Super Cal, the Super Cal series from Cicada. Just to refresh your memory, Super Cals are an interspecific cross between Petunia and Calibrachoa. Somebody finally told us what they're doing. And what they get out of that is earliness, disease resistance, grower-friendly habit, and an excellent garden performance. What they say is to think of it as a Petunia version of Sun Patience. Well, if that works, that could be pretty good. And so, Rose and Royal Red are the 2 additions to the Super Cal series. That is vivid. That may be as red as any petunia, any red petunia that I've seen. It also has a decent habit on it too, which is hard to find in a red petunia. So that's kind of interesting. And then these are fun. These are from Selecta, and you remember Night Sky. I think Night Sky was the first petunia to come out with speckles on it. That kind of look like a starry sky at night, and so they've added that coloration to several different colors of petunias. This is headliner Electric Purple Sky. This one is Crystal Sky, and it's a I think I got that one right. No, excuse me, that's labeled wrong. This is Glacier Sky, which is like the original Night Sky, as you see in the center, but it's got that white rim around it. And these are affected by temperature, PGRs, a few other things. So you never know kind of what pattern you're going to get with these, but they can be a lot of fun. Now we're into perennials. And I'm not a perennial expert. I'm a Floridian. Everything's a perennial, right? I have lots and lots of perennials in my yard. So don't ask me the specifics about the zone and things like that. If I have it here in my notes, I will let you know. And I hope I do, because it's a question we do try to ask. So this is a delphinium from PP&L, Pacific Plug and Liner, and it's an interspecific that they call Del Genius. And this was read by the same Dutch guy, Bart Nordhaus, who brought us the interspecific Echinacea and Pacific Plug and Liner's Frost Kiss Hellebore series. So you know they've been bred by a really talented breeder. Now, so it's an interspecific delphinium. What's the benefit to that? They say enormous hardiness and heat tolerance, strong flower stems that hold up in the garden, a compact habit, multi-branched. I mean, if this is any indication, the photo that you're looking at right here, if that's any indication, that is something, another end cap item. Now it's not, for packs by any means. They didn't give us a height. Zone-wise, we are talking zones 3 to 9, so that means pretty much anywhere in the country. 3 different colors. This one is called Shelby. There's also a purple called Breezen and a pink one called Juliet. And now, what's also interesting, these are from tissue culture. Okay, not seed or cuttings. These are from tissue culture. It sounds expensive, and I remember I asked about that, but they said they're, quote, reasonably priced. And they pretty much have to be to stay competitive, and very few problems, certainly compared to the seed types you might be used to growing. So that's the Delphinium delgenius perennial series. Dianthus Hello Yellow. This is from Plant Haven. This is a hardy scented dianthus. And it's the first yellow dianthus, and it's in the Pinks program that's bred by Wetman Pinks in England, very well-known dianthus breeding company. And what I liked is they described the color as sort of Chardonnay yellow, and they were good enough to send a photo vignette next to a glass of Chardonnay. And doggone it, they're right. They're right. It's a Chardonnay yellow dianthus called Hello Yellow. Hardy to zone 5, in case you were going to ask. Echinacea, boy, have the breeders been doing some crazy things with Echinacea these days. These are from Monrovia, and this is Evolution Colorific. And Evolution is an existing series that has 6 colors in it already. Colorific is what they're calling color shifting, meaning it opens up one color and then moves through the spectrum of colors until it kind of fades, and it starts golden yellow, turns kind of pinkish salmon, and then fades or darkens to a deep pink. Fascinating to have all that. That looks like a totally a mixed combo pot there, but that's all one variety. I think that's beautiful. Zone 5, and it grows to about 18 inches or so in the landscape. So that's Echinacea Evolution Colorific from Monrovia. Buddleia Summerbird from Cohen, another one of the Israeli breeding companies, but this is actually bred by Volmari out of Germany. It's a butterfly bush. You know, Buddleia is butterfly bush. Very compact, just 2 feet or so tall, which means you can use it in patio pots or even in a window box, so you could enjoy the butterflies coming right up to a window. That could be very nice. 4 different colors: violet, white, magenta, and blue, and all show good resistance to powdery mildew, that they say. And no zone information here, but I would assume it's pretty much like any other Buddleia that you would normally offer. Pretty little phlox here from Duman called Woodlander, an interspecific ground cover perennial phlox. And you can kind of see that. This is like a subulata type, but look at the size of the flowers, much bigger flowers on it. Makes, I would say, probably a more appealing blooming pot at retail than the typical subulata types might, which can kind of look a little bit scraggly, you know. And there's 4 colors: rose, lilac, pink, and white. How are we doing on time here? I want to make sure. Oh, I will watch on. Oh, you get so used to looking at these digital clocks, you forget the old-fashioned timepiece here. What is that? We're doing fine. Okay, so that's Phlox Woodlander. Salvia Midnight, because I want to get to the vegetables and the other things here. Salvia Midnight is an existing series, and it includes this one called Purple and Rose, with a nice dark blue stem. Compact but spreading. It's a Salvia nemorosa. And again, I can't tell you the zone on this one, so I would assume same as any nemorosa that you've been used to growing. So, all right. And then that's a pretty sedum, you know, succulents, still hot. Certainly this can be used in the landscape, rock gardens, patio containers. Never tried bringing these indoors, but I suspect you could even get away with that too. And these are got a really nice structure. The shape of the little crowns, and the variation is absolutely beautiful. Very heat tolerant. We'll get little hints of pink in it. It's not showing here, but you know exactly what I'm talking about. So Pretty much do that anywhere out in the landscape. Very tough little plant. Sedum atlantis. This is from Jaldedi, another one of the Israeli breeding companies. And I mentioned Echinacea before for Pacific plug-in liner, the cross between the Rudbeckia and the Echinacea from Bart Nordhaus. And they introduced two new ones in their Summerina collection. Not so much a series, but more of a collection. This is, there is a Sun Chaser, which is a big, bright flowers in kind of yellow and orange tones. In fact, they say the blooms can get almost 8 inches across. It's sort of the newest breeding in the Echinacea series. So this is what they're going after. Oh, I don't have the picture of the other one, which is called Sun Reef. Sun Reef is more bicolor orange-red, so darker tones than this one. A little bit larger habit and slightly smaller flowers, 6-inch flowers. So this is the one I'd really be looking for, Sun Chaser Echinacea. Lupines, gosh, these are always so pretty when we see them at the trials. Another one I would love to put in my own garden. I just haven't tried it, but this is Lupinis from Hem Genetic, from seed, first year flowering perennial, grows to about 1 foot tall, hardy zone 6 to 8. That's why I haven't tried it in my garden. I'm in zone 5. Doggone it, I've got to move south. Nice short crop time, and you get 5 colors out of this: blue, pink, red, white, and yellow, all shades, which means you're going to get some interesting flower variegation in all those. So blue shades, pink shades, red shades, white shades, yellow shades, and a mix that you're seeing right here. A few more perennials to go through. Another dianthus from Plant Haven. This is American Pie Cherry Pie, again with the food things. I should never do this before lunch. A scented perennial dianthus, again from Wetman breeding in the UK. Big flowers, up to, it doesn't show it in the picture here, but they'll get up to 3 inches across, with a nice, bright, vivid, they call it a modern range of colors. And so that's the Dianthus American Pie Cherry Pie series. Day, another blue flower. We don't see many of those. This might be the only other one I'll show you. Delphinium. This one's called Jenny's Pearl, and it's from Taki. It's a Delphinium grandiflora. There's pearl blue and also pearl pink, both Jenny's. Jenny's pearl blue, Jenny's pearl pink. They say nice stable color, even during high temperature production. It's a first year flowering perennial. And you can use it in pots or as a cut flower. So it might be a nice sort of a garden cut. We've seen a little bit of in echinaceas here. This is one called Dark Shadows Wicked from Terra Nova. We should be growing this one for Halloween, shouldn't we? The Dark Shadows series has very dark flower centers and dark flower stems, but nice flower color to contrast against it. And so Wicked brings, well, they describe this as a cool watermelon color. Yeah, I guess I could see that, maybe. And zones 4 to 9. This one you can grow pretty much anywhere. Leucanthemum, beautiful, beautiful habit here. Nice bright white color. This is called Carpet Angel from Green Fuse. And they're saying that, check me if I'm wrong, but they claim this is the only ground cover Shasta daisy on the market. It doesn't require any vernalization. It's got no day length requirements. So it's going to bloom pretty much continuously, looking just like this, the one in the foreground there, you know, the ground cover type, with very nice double flowers and a great compact habit. Hardy to zone 5. So again, Chicagoland, down south, not a problem. And lastly, in perennials, a Rudbeckia called Dakota Gold also from Green Fuse. And here's another first. And again, I can't test this out. I can't vouch for it. I'm only reporting what I'm told by the marketing and breeding folks. But Dakota Gold is the first fully hardy perennial Rudbeckia hirta on the planet. Zone 5, they say, which is pretty impressive if true. So we'll have to give it a test. It's part of the Green Fuse's first light perennial program, which means it's day length neutral, first year to flower, and can basically be marketed anytime, spring, summer, or hey, right now for fall. So that'd be a great fall variety, wouldn't it? All right, well, let's go into some make sure I've got all my notes going here. There we are. Make sure we get our vegetables going. And I wish there were more to show you, but the companies that we talk to mostly are into blooming plants, less so with vegetables, but there are some nice ones. Pan American Seed has a big vegetable program, as you may well know, and they've got a category they called kitchen minis, and it's just what it describes. It's things that are so compact that you could have it like in your windowsill or your countertop in your kitchen. And this tomato variety is called Siam, and it's a little F1 loaded with tomatoes. This is the kind of thing that I think you could offer in your garden center, just like this, in a quart or gallon size. Is kind of what it looks like they're doing here. Maybe even smaller, maybe like sort of a 5-inch and a say an 8-inch size. Some 6s in the background, I think, as you see there. So that's Siam. Sakana offers one. I apologize for this photo. We had to snag it off the internet. They couldn't offer us one, but Gold Spark is a grape type of tomato, slightly larger cherry, but you can still pop it in your mouth. Early to harvest, lots of yield, crack resistant, which is nice. I hate having a big rain all of a sudden and then going out and finding all my ripe cherry tomatoes have a big split down them. Nothing worse. But they're still nice and sweet, which is good. And it's got a nice golden yellow color. And this could be the first time I'd ever talked about broccoli in a new variety introduction. But hey, anything goes these days. And unlike George Bush, I like broccoli. This is Godzilla. And, I like when somebody names something for a reason. I would guess. A big broccoli? Yes, it is. They say the heads are ginormous. But the real characteristic here is that the stems don't have a real woody outer layer to them. You don't have to peel them before eating them. You can use the stem, just chop them up and drop them in boiling water or saute pan or however, stir fry, whatever you're going to do with it. You don't have to peel off that outer layer. And then this is fun as well. This is a new basil called cold acyl. If you see the name Coldacil and you're first thinking it's a cold remedy, which it might be if you added it, say, to some chicken soup, but it's basically a cold tolerant basil, cold acyl. And, and I'm guilty of it too. My wife's guilty of it. You want basil plants, you put them out when it's too early, and your plants are never happy. This one will take temperatures down to about 50 degrees Fahrenheit, they say. And I wrote my note here, send me a whole flat of them. I'll give it a try. All right, last category here, and that is the ideal for indies. Ellen Wells picked these. Ellen is our retail editor at large and also the editor of our Buzz newsletter. So she knows what independents like, and she specifically pulled these out for you guys. The first is Calibraco Superbell's Coral Sun. And it's the color. Anybody can sell this, but that color should just be celebrated right up on an end cap, or mix it into some really interesting combos. Really play up on either the yellow center or that coral outer rim there. I think you can find some really unique color combinations with some of the sun coleus that are out there, etc. So. Here's a fun one, Colocasia, which is, kind of a foliage plant, tropical foliage plant called coffee cups. Actually, we have two different ones. This is coffee cups. These are from Proven Winners. In fact, they were part of the Proven Winners Proven Selections program, which are sold more regionally by the Proven Winners partners, but not nationally, because they're not necessarily good for, what's good in New Hampshire may not be good for Michigan and vice versa. But in this case, they upgraded it to the Proven Winners series, named for both the cup shape of the foliage and the coffee-colored stems. Sort of mocha highlights, they're calling it. This would be great as a thriller in a big combo, 36 to 60 inches tall. So that's pretty darn big. And then the second one is Heart of the Jungle, Colocasia Heart of the Jungle, named for obviously those heart-shaped leaves. And again, these are going to grow pretty big. So a big grower, a mass market grower, may not want to mess with them because you can't put them on a truck cost effectively. So you could have these in your garden center when nobody else does. This is an interesting one, Mertensia Silver Ocean from Hem Genetics. Is this ornamental or edible? Yes, it's both. If you've ever experienced Mertensia, the foliage tastes a little bit like an oyster. It's kind of briny. It makes you feel like you're at the ocean, and you get some little blue flowers on it as well. Super durable, zones 2 to 8. Great for rock gardens, baskets, all kinds of places. So, and just to snap one off and have a customer smell it or bite it, and kind of amaze them with that. All right, another one, Kufia Blackberry Sparkler. Ellen described this, and you see we put the flowers, a little close up of it on the right there. It's another one you want to get customers right up close to really appreciate the little flowers. She wrote that the flower looks like sparkling water was floated on top of a tall, cool glass of blackberry juice. And being a little bit thirsty, I can see that right now. So perfect for smaller containers, drought tolerant, and the pollinators love it. So put it in a basket, outside a window or something, and watch all the pollinators visit. Petunia Trilogy, Pink Lips from Taki, a part of Taki's Trilogy seed petunia series. Certainly as bubblegum as any flower I've ever seen. Very nice habit, very spreading as well. Another end cap item, if you ask me. Another one you could use for different sorts of fundraisers. Kind of obvious there with the color. Another great petunia, wild color that customers will want to appreciate up close. Actually, we have two of them here. Crazy Tunia Blackberry Jam. Crazy Tunias are just as they sound, crazy colors. I think they've got something like 50 of them. That's I really like this one. Let's see. Let's go back. Blackberry Jam is nice, but Peach Bellini, that is a really interesting color. That's another end cap item. All right, and I think I'm wrapping it up here, Joe. Don't worry. With Petunia Amore Heart and Soul from Danziger, which the Amore collection is Danziger's novelty petunia line. They've got kind of like the Suntory heart-shaped ones. These have little hearts. If you point them out to customers, they can see, oh yeah, that is kind of heart-shaped on each bloom. So this would be another great one to do, interesting mixed combos, or hey, an end cap item. And I think, hey, that little sign there means the end, Joe.
Very good.
And just in the nick of time.
Yeah, I got to get that lunch for you now.
Anyway, I didn't see any questions come in. If anybody has any that I can answer, I'd be happy to field them now. Otherwise, email me at my last name, Beytes @growertalks.com. And if I can't find it, I can Google it, or I can ask the expert. How about that?
Thank you very much, Chris.
All right, my pleasure, Joe.
Appreciate all the information. Take care. Okay, everybody, that wraps up our series. Right now, just a reminder to visit our show. As I said before, 2% for anything that you've ordered previously during the pre-show. And that is it. Thank you for joining us for this series and our trade show. And just a reminder, our trade show runs through tomorrow, and many specials will be available through the next month and a half. Thank you.